How do we measure success in language learning? I'll tell you how I don't measure success in language learning, and that is in getting, 9 out of 10 questions right on a test or a drill. Because I know from experience that I can get some things correct on one occasion and get them wrong the next time. So it's not really, in my opinion, a good measure of success. I have said many times that what we like to measure at LINC and what school language programs should measure is the level of activity. Because if we stay active with the language, we will improve. We cannot help but improve. And so at LINC, we measure hours of listening, words read, words looked up, which is links created. And so we measure the level of activity. We have a composite activity index. If you stay active, you will improve because then the brain is acquiring these words. You may feel that you're not improving, but in fact you are. So from that perspective, success to me in language learning is, are we staying active? Am I staying the course? Am I spending time with the language? Whether on LINC or whether I'm reading a book on paper or talking to people, am I active with the language? As long as I'm active with the language, I'm successful. We can keep track of that the way we do at LINC, or you might want to keep a diary. How much time did I spend with the language? You may just have that impression. It seems recently I've been reading a lot in the language, or I've been watching movies in the language. As long as you are engaging with the language, even though you might feel you're on that plateau, and I often get the question, I'm on the plateau, I really don't think I'm improving. So you sort of have a negative, feeling about your degree of success in learning the language. As long as you are active, to me, that is success. Because I know, again, from my experience at LINC, that if I stay with it, if I'm reading every day, if I'm creating links, even though I may not be deliberately learning anything, in fact, my known word count is increasing. And I know from experience, if I am listening, continuing to listen a lot every day, the brain is becoming more and more familiar with the language. Every opportunity I have to speak, maybe with a tutor, I'm engaged with the language, I'm using the language, that is success. The process is the reward, I have said before, but the process is also the point of success. As long as you are engaged, you are successful. How much you improve, how much you're able to use the words that you have learned is going to depend on a number of factors. It's going to depend on opportunities. It's going to depend on, say, the subject matter of a discussion you have. It's going to, say, in terms of how well you speak, it's going to depend on how well you connect with the person you're talking to, how well you understand the subject matter. There's so many things that can impact that. But the one thing that is objectively true is that the more you are engaged with the language, the more active you are with the language, the better you will do. If you can force yourself, if you can nudge yourself through, streaks at LINC, through having a discipline that you're going to have, this habit. I've mentioned atomic habits. Every morning I get up, first thing I do, I listen to my language. If you can force yourself into a pattern where you are regularly engaged in language learning activities such as listening, reading, speaking, if you are doing that, you are successful. You cannot force the success. You cannot force your progress in the language. You can only commit yourself or nudge yourself or discipline yourself or create the habits of success, the habits of being active with the language. So to me, the measurement of success in the language is, how active have I been? How active am I now? For example, I very much enjoyed my visit to Poland. I've got both loaded on LINC and in traditional book form material about the history of Poland and a novel. And I feel I'm very successful because I'm engaging with this material. And I know that by engaging with this material, my familiarity with Polish, my comprehension of Polish, I see it already now. I read and I understand more and more and more of what I'm reading. And so the success comes from being actively engaged with the language. So how do we measure success? We measure how active we are with the learning process. Everything else will look after itself. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.